Hello, Michelle. How's it going today?
Good, Lindsay. Good. How are you?
Really good, really good. What are we getting into? Are we talking about travel today?
Yes, we are in the summer. And guys, I'm sure a lot of you are taking summer trips this summer. How many times can I
Yes.
say summer? So we are going to be talking about flying. But Lindsay, what is the hardest? I mean, you've done so much traveling. What would you say is the hardest long haul flight you've ever had?
Oh, Michelle, I've had some tough ones when you go to Asia, right? So, a
Yeah.
couple tough ones when we did our urban immersion adventure in Tokyo were really hard. I did 12 hours in the Istanbul airport, just which is
Oh,
actually
wow.
kind of a cool place to spend 12 hours. It's the crossroads of Asia, Europe, and
Mm.
Africa. And so just sitting there and people watching. But the hardest one for me was going to Cambodia. I think I had 3 legs on that. I think it
Ooh,
was Boston to LA to China. I think it was Shanghai to Cambodia. It was
wow.
wild. Yeah. It was insane, and just, like, airport to airport, and you arrive and you're a mess, right?
Yeah, that's hard. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever had anything like that. I mean, when I went to India, we did a layover in Dubai.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think that's like pretty typical, just a few hours, and so nothing too crazy. Of course it was exhausting, but
Yeah. What
nothing
about your trip to Japan?
nothing.
Because you went to Japan. Did you have a direct flight New York to Tokyo?
Yes, I
Yeah, okay.
did.
Yeah,
So that
New
was
York's yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, those are long flights, but yeah, not with too many, nothing crazy.
Problem is the layovers that just kill you. It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And now, like, with air travel being a little wonky right now,
Mhm.
sometimes with the layovers, then you don't know if it's actually happening, or I don't know. That can be very stressful. Or if there's a delay and you're running with I know that's happened to
Oh,
my brother, where it's been such a delay, and then he misses the flight he was supposed to catch.
it's true. Or you board the flight. This happened to me last month. You
Oh.
board the flight. It's 10:30. The flight was supposed to go at 7:30. You're on the flight waiting for an hour, and the pilot never shows up. And then, and then the pilot times out. The crew times out. So you have to get off, and the flight gets delayed or canceled until the
Oh
next
my
day. That happened
gosh.
to me just a month ago. If you fly enough, you get these crazy stories, right?
Yeah.
It's insane. That's why we're talking about this today for our listeners. It really is a connection topic, Michelle.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody can share their flight stories, right? So
Yes.
we actually got we're talking about this because we got two listener questions on YouTube, and we're going to kind of combine them today and talk about flying in general. I mean, this is a great topic. I mean, especially for our listeners. We know you guys are, global travelers.
Yes.
We like to move around. So maybe we'll do follow ups or a little series on this. We'll have to see how it goes. We'll see what comes out of this. But so we have two questions. So the first one we want to shout out is they're both from YouTube. Ardalan Book Art. Ardalan Book Art 24. And it says, can you talk about direct flight, connecting flights, and everything related to the airport? And so, yeah, great question.
Yes.
And Lindsay, do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, so the next question also from YouTube from Sanaz Mahmoudi 8758, and they said, "Hi Aubrey and Lindsay, thank you for your amazing podcast. I have a question about a red eye flight." So, what
Mhm.
I think they're asking, what is a red eye flight? Can you
Yeah.
make a video about it? Thanks a lot, Sanaz from Iran. Love
Yeah.
it. Love
Thank
it,
you,
Michelle.
Sanaz. Yeah, thank
Yes.
you to both of you. We really appreciate these questions. Thanks for engaging with us. YouTube is another great place where you can ask your questions.
Mhm.
So yeah, we've talked about flights on the show before, but a while ago, and we want to refresh ourselves and our audience's memories. So we are going to today get into these logistical words about
Yes.
flying, and we're also going to ask conversation questions that can help build connection
Yes.
around this topic.
I love
So,
that. I love that. So
yeah,
it's not just about definitions of terms, it's about what questions do we ask using
exactly.
these terms, right, Michelle? To build connection.
Right. Yep,
Yes.
exactly. So we're going to kind of ask each other questions after each
Okay.
term that we teach. So the
Mhm.
first one, direct flight or nonstop, sometimes we say. So, Lindsay, you were
Yeah.
asking me that just a second ago about Japan. You said,
Yeah.
did you have a direct flight? So what does that mean?
Yeah, it just means literally there are no stops. And for me, this is a criteria these days when I fly, at least within the US, I don't do layovers. I just refuse to do
You're done?
layovers. It's too dangerous these days, Michelle. With
Right.
what happened with the Newark airport, I don't know if that's been ironed out yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Michelle, what about you? Do you also try to take direct flights, or are you open to layovers within the
I
US?
really try for the direct. Definitely when I'm online looking, I try
Yeah.
and just hit it where I'm only looking at direct. And sometimes, oh gosh, do you ever you look and you see, oh wow, that's a better price than
And
I
it's
would
like a
like to pay, and then
12-hour
you're like,
layover
no,
somewhere.
you'd have to fly all around the country.
Yeah, they're gonna send me to, like, Akron, Ohio for a
Yeah.
12-hour layover, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, "No, we don't want that." So, anyway, but you might say, "I only wanna take a direct flight. It's too exhausting to fly non" oh,
Yeah,
wait, to
not
fly I
to
meant
fly with a
with a
layover.
yeah, with a layover,
Yeah.
whoops.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was the question. So, that is a really good conversation question, right, Lindsay?
Mhm.
Like, do
Yeah.
you try to take direct flights, or do you
Yes.
usually take connecting flights? Whatever,
This is
but
yeah.
asking about it.
It's a great topic, and I think a lot of people that fly often have like, they have rules, right? They have their own standards, and so
True.
they might say
Funny.
I might ask someone, do you do
You do.
layovers?" Right? And
Do you
someone might say, "No,
do?
I don't do layovers," especially in the winter in the US, flying into Denver, flying to the East Coast, it's too dangerous with
Yeah.
snow and ice delays, right?
Yeah.
Or I don't do the last flight out in the evening because those are the ones that are most likely to get delayed for thunderstorms in the summer. Flight crew will time out, things like
Mhm.
that. So, what do you do means what do you tolerate? What are your standards? What are you willing to
Right.
do? What do
And
you
that
do?
just gives me Lindsay, first of all, you've been throwing out some awesome vocab today. I've been, writing it down, ironed out and criteria and
Timed out. Yeah. Mhm.
timed out. Wait, but what you just said, we could do a whole episode on this. I don't do blank.
It's a great
Do
one.
you do
Yeah.
this? I don't do that, right?
Oh my gosh, guys, hit the follow button right now. It's a fantastic way to describe what you tolerate, what you allow, what your standards are for anything in your life, any food you eat, things
Yeah.
you accept, things you don't accept. Okay. Hit
Yeah.
the follow
So, all
button.
right. I'm excited to plan that one. So, let's move on to the next one. If you're not doing a direct flight, you are usually doing a connecting flight. So, Lindsay,
Mhm.
I took a quick jot down of this because earlier you mentioned legs, right? So you said,
Yes.
I think you
Yes.
said that your flight had 3 or 4 legs. What in the
Mhm.
world?
I know, it sounds like a human being,
Legs?
right? Sounds like a
Yeah.
human being. No, so just, sections of your journey, right? So, when we flew to Brussels, we had one leg from Denver to Frankfurt, and the other leg, I don't know if it was Munich or Frankfurt, from Frankfurt to Brussels, right? So
Mhm.
those are 2 legs, okay?
Right,
Yes. Mhm.
exactly. So, yeah, basically you stop at another airport and then take a connecting flight to your destination. So, the
Yes.
connecting flight is the one that would you say that that more typically kinda describes the second flight?
Yeah, the connecting flight. I would say the second flight. Mhm.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
connects you. So,
Yeah.
what could be an
Okay.
example of that?
Okay. So we could say, I have a connecting flight I need to catch. Would you mind if I got off ahead of you? Oh, this is opening a whole topic, Michelle.
Yes, it definitely is, and that's another topic we can get to another time, but that does happen where sometimes they tell you. They'll say, "Oh, if
Yes.
you have a connecting flight, you get off first," right?
Yes.
Um, but yeah, that
This
can be stressful.
Yeah, my craziest flight story was last summer when we came back from Slovenia. Listen to this, Michelle. It's insane. So we were leaving Venice. So we went to Venice for a day and we had to go to Munich for the first leg and then back to Denver. Our flight in Munich was boarding when we were getting on our flight in Venice. Can you
Uh-oh.
imagine that? So, like, literally and so we're like, "There's no way we're gonna make it." And then we arrived in Munich, and I thought my heart was gonna explode out of my chest. We sprinted across the Munich airport. Luckily, everything was very smooth, and
How
we
is
got
it
on.
possible?
We got on. We got on. It's just these international flights take forever to board. They take, like, an hour 15 to board, and
Oh my
somehow we made it.
gosh.
Yeah, we
That's
made it.
wild. Wait, so how long is that flight? That
The
from
flight
the
is
Venice?
it's about an hour, maybe a little less, 45 minutes from Venice to Munich. And then
Wow. That's
it
wow,
was
good for you.
it was wild. So this whole thing, I mean, that was an exceptional scenario, but one
Yeah.
thing we
Yeah,
run into a
we don't
lot.
recommend, that.
Yeah, yeah, well, it wasn't our fault. It was delays, but do you ever wonder if you have enough time? That's something I struggle with when I have a connecting flight. Do I have
Right.
enough time for that layover in that airport? Because some
Right.
airports are more efficient than others, right?
Right, or they're bigger, so you might have to take
Yeah.
a something in between a terminal. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, you always kinda have to make it's kind of a gamble,
It's
right?
a gamble.
When you're doing
Yeah.
this, you're like, "Oh, will I be able to
Yeah.
make it?" And, "Oh, it's
It's true.
probably
A
fine,"
and it
but
kinda depends on how efficient that airport is, how many other
true.
flights are coming in that
So
day.
many things to think
Michelle, there's
about.
so much. This could be like 10 episodes, but let's keep
Yeah.
going. Let's keep going.
Okay, so, well, that's funny because wait, did you already see that this was my,
Yeah.
question?
Oh, I actually did not see that, but
That's
this
really
is a
funny.
great connection question. Here it is. This is what Michelle could have asked me just now.
Uh,
Have you ever had to run to catch a flight? And then everyone has their stories, right? Their airport war stories, right? As we say, we have a story, and people love to tell those stories, right? Because they're so dramatic to them.
They
So
are.
good connection moment.
Yes, I actually remember this isn't about flights, but also dealing with Venice.
Yeah.
We were going to be taking a train. Ooh, I forget to where else. But it was the next train wasn't until maybe the next day, and
Oh
we were
yeah.
trying to get on. What is it called? The cars the
The overnight train,
no. In Venice,
the
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 boat.
gondolas.
No, not
Yeah.
the gondolas.
The water taxis.
The water taxi, but there's a
Okay.
name for it. I can't think of it.
Okay. I don't know.
We were trying to get on, and we were also doing it. Sound that reminded me of your story about the heart
Mhm.
through the chest. We were running, and then I remember people. Is it the vaporetto?
I don't know. I
Okay, well,
actually don't know
whatever.
the term.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So I'm sorry to our Italian listeners. So then, I remember people, it was taking so long for people to get on and off.
Oh my
And it was
gosh.
stopping at every single stop.
Yeah.
We were just trying to get to the train station. It was so
That's
stressful.
so stressful. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
gosh. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
So next one is layover. So
Yeah.
this is the actual time that you're in the airport between the flights. So the layover is where you are to get to
Yes.
the connecting flight, correct?
Yes. Yes, exactly. So for example, I have a layover in Boston, but it's not long enough to leave the airport, unfortunately. Right.
Mhm.
Best place we've had layovers. Oh my gosh. So this is the question we could ask for a connection moment. Michelle, where's the best place you've had a layover? Real
I,
quick.
I'm gonna say Dubai because
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting to go through that airport, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a
Yeah.
huge airport. So I would say that. Unfortunately, it's not. That's the thing is sometimes you get layovers in really cool places, and you wish you had
Yeah.
time to explore, and you just don't. So
Yeah. It's so
yeah.
true. It's so true. I
What
love
about
it.
you?
I this is a weird answer. You're gonna be shocked by this answer, but I actually had a layover in Houston, Texas when
Yeah.
I went to Argentina. And it was kind of cool because we found a cool neighborhood to get a beer. We met with some family that
So you
lives
had
down
time
there.
there.
We
That's
had like
nice.
12 hours. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was very cool. Yeah,
Oh,
for
very
sure.
nice.
Yeah. Okay, Michelle, we are back. Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about in this episode today. Real quick, Redeye flight.
Right.
What is this? This is important vocabulary. If our
Lindsay,
listeners have been listening,
this is a big
yeah,
one for Lindsay.
yeah. If anyone's been listening to the show for more than 6 months, they've heard this on the show, right?
Yes, because Lindsay
Um,
always takes a red-eye flight, except
I
maybe
take a
not
lot of
anymore. I
Redeyes.
don't know.
I'm moving away from them, but they are
Yeah.
the cheapest, and sometimes they're the easiest because you can work a full day and then go to the airport in the evening. But then you're a
Yeah.
mess for 3 days, right? So,
Right.
so
So,
for example, go
for
ahead.
example, I'm taking a red eye, so I will probably be pretty tired when I get there. So
Yeah,
sometimes you don't even need to say flight, right? If you say,
right.
"Oh, I'm taking a red eye," people know what
Yes,
that means, right?
yeah.
And
And
why is
what
it called a red eye?
well, I used to think it was like the nose of the plane, but it's not the eye of the plane is red, it's the nose, right? So it just means that people come off the plane with red eyes because they haven't really slept. And this could be a whole other, and this is the question, right? And I've had this question many times just in the last couple of months with people. Michelle, are you good at sleeping on flights? That is the connection question, right?
Yeah. um Not really. I mean, I'm
Okay.
not. It's not that I can't sleep at all, but not very. Not. I'm not so great. What about you?
No, because there's always the screens waking me up. I don't like wearing eye masks. And also I get really excited about the in-flight entertainment. And also sometimes I get excited about listening to All Ears English on the in-flight entertainment, which
Oh,
we are on certain European airlines. We are on
yeah,
those airlines. No, just kidding.
yeah.
I don't actually listen to All Ears English. But I get excited about the movie options.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's great. It's funny. I never have the patience to watch a movie on the plane. I like to. I,
No?
I don't
Oh,
know. I do a lot of trying to sleep.
okay.
I feel like that's mostly what I'm doing. I should just watch a movie,
Yeah.
but instead I like, oh, I'm gonna try and sleep. I'm gonna try and sleep, and then I don't. So I
Yeah.
should just watch a movie. But yeah,
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's not easy, Michelle. It's not easy.
no.
We're running out of time here. What should we
Oh
do?
my
Should we do
gosh.
the last one? Yeah, we're it's incredible.
Okay, all right, let's do it. All right, so the
This.
last one is
Yeah.
to fly. As you guys can see, this is a huge topic. So fly standby.
Yes.
So this is you don't have a ticket and you're going
Mhm.
to see if you can get on a flight like if somebody cancels. So for example, sometimes you can get a good deal if you fly standby. So
Mhm.
Lindsay, have you ever flown standby? That's the question.
Yes, I just did this in my disaster in the airport in May where I had to the flight crew never got on because they timed out. I had to sprint over to the Redeye at DIA and get on standby, and I actually got on standby on that flight. So I took the Redeye back to Boston to see
Good
my
for you.
family. Yes, it worked out, Michelle. It worked out. But
Good.
you need like a certain amount of points and all this stuff. It's a whole thing, Michelle. It's not a democratic
Yes.
system, right? It's
Yes, exactly. All right. Wow.
Here we
Guys,
go.
as you can see, this is a huge connection topic because Lindsay and I couldn't stop talking
Huge.
in meaning that this episode is long. So let's go through the
Yes.
role play and show how it looks all together.
All right.
So in
Yeah.
this role play, we are looking online for flights for a trip that we are going on together.
Here we go. Oh, how about this one?
A red eye? I can't.
Okay, fine. Does it have to be direct though?
It doesn't have to be nonstop, no, but I'd prefer not to have a very long layover.
I get it. I get it. Maybe we can get a connecting flight though to save some money.
That's okay with me. Would you ever fly standby?
Oh, that's way too stressful for me.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, I know people that work for airports and they fly standby because they have a chance to go to like India or Japan randomly because they have the free credit,
Yes,
right?
I have
If you work,
friends.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
I have
That is
friends too.
that's a great reason to fly standby.
Oh
I'll
my
go to Japan
gosh.
today, sure.
Oh my gosh, the best. All
All
right,
right.
so this is really a common type of conversation. You're looking online and you're going through. So you said, "How about this one?" And I said, "A red eye? I can't."
Right. Yes, it's a real dividing line in terms of lifestyle and what people are willing to do. Again, look for that episode using do. What do you tolerate, right?
Um,
And then I said, okay, fine. Does it have to be direct though? So I'm saying, would you do a layover during the day? Right.
right, exactly. And I said, "It doesn't have to be nonstop. No, but I'd prefer not to have a very long layover."
And then I said, I get it. Maybe we can get a connecting flight though to save some money. Yeah, because connecting flights are usually cheaper, right?
And then I said, "That's okay with me. Would you ever fly standby?"
Good. All right. Good stuff. So these really are the building blocks of a connection conversation. And again, look at what we just did here, Michelle. We just talked for 20 minutes and we didn't even know it was 20 minutes. Like we lost
Yeah, and they're
track
like,
of time.
"Oh."
So clearly, everyone, if you're a traveler, if you're excited about travel, open up this topic with someone else who's also a globetrotter, global
Yeah.
traveler, and get into it. Why not?
Yeah.
There's a lot to say here. We only scratched the surface today.
It's true. Oh my gosh, we can do so much more. So we will do more. Definitely hit follow. And thank you to our listeners for these questions. These were great. Guys, I bet if maybe you are flying, maybe you're going to your happy place. So head on over and listen to All Ears English. The episode is called Find Your Happy Place in this episode.
All right, good stuff. And guys, hit the follow button now for more great episodes from All Ears English. Michelle, I will see you very soon. Have a good
All right.
day.
Bye. You too.
Bye.